Warriors are going to have to at least wait until Thursday night if they want to put on those NBA Finals hats. They lose tonight by 10 in Dallas, and it wasn't even that close. The Mavericks led by 29, and they make 23s in this game, going 20 of 43 overall. And they stave off elimination, and they avoid the sweep. So there will be a Game 5 Thursday night at Chase Center as we welcome everybody to Warriors Live Playoff Edition presented by Toyota with the Hall of Famer Chris Woolen, NBA champ Festus Ezeli, NBA champ Darrell Wright. I am Bonte Hill, and yeah, the second quarter got a little hairy for the Golden State Warriors. They go down 15 at the half. Then we get a 16-minute delay at the start of the third quarter because of leakage in the roof at American Airlines Center. And then the Mavericks come out on a 10-2 run, and they put it away. Although the youngsters, D-Right, made it a run at the end and made it entertaining, but it was too little too late for the Dubs.
Yeah, it was too late, but they showed some effort at the end. You got to give a lot of credit to the Dallas Mavericks. They're back against the wall. They came out fighting, knocked down a bunch of shots that they missed previous 3 games. So got to give them a lot of credit. Warriors, they're going to get back home and try to close it out on their home court.
This 3-point battle that we keep talking about, the Warriors lost the battle tonight, 10 shots to 20 shots for the Mavericks. And so that was really the big difference. So free throws were even. The first time they out-rebounded the Warriors. So they came out, and I told you guys, the closeout game is the toughest. And the Warriors came out, and you have a great player in Luka, but his bench came out to play today. His bench and the role supporting guys came out to play today.
The execution and the shot making. Both teams made 41 field goals. Both teams made 17 free throws. And as Festus said, the Mavericks make 20 3-point shots to the Warriors 10. They still took 43 threes. They kept the Warriors under 30 again. So it's the same game plan, but they were able to execute and make shots. This was similar to Game 2 here in San Francisco. But I thought the end of the half, where they maintained that lead, gave themselves a little more cushion. As you see, the Warriors made a furious comeback. If they don't build that 29-point lead, all of a sudden, that 10-point game is a 5-point game. The Stars come back and you don't know what happens. So give the Dallas Mavericks a lot of credit. They showed a lot of competitive spirit. They didn't fold the town and get swept. Now here we are coming back to San Francisco for Game 5.
Yeah, Warriors going to 32-11 run in that fourth quarter to cut it to 8, 110 to 102. And we saw Steve Kerr throw a lot of his starters back into the game. But tonight was all about the Mavericks' 3-point shooting. Reggie Bullock had a great bounce-back game. He made 6 threes. He was 6 of 10. Dorian Finney-Smith, 4 of 7. Luka Doncic, just 3. But overall, the Mavericks 20 of 43. And now they came out on fire, especially in that third quarter. They were just guns blazing. And look, this is what they do all season long, the Dallas Mavericks. They hit threes. So now they're starting to feel a little good coming to San Francisco. Warriors got to make sure they get off to a quicker start in Game 5, but limit their 3-point attempts, D-Right, because that's all they do in Dallas.
I think they did a great job in Game 3 with running those guys off the 3-point line, making the guys that aren't playmakers, aren't drivers, put the ball on the floor. And I think that exposed a lot of things that they couldn't do. So I think next game they just got to lock in more, running guys off the 3-point line, make them a little more uncomfortable with making plays, and then, contest late.
Every game you come into a game with a defensive strategy. And so Coach Kerr threw a curveball at him, hoping that, keep talking about throwing bodies at Luka and different bodies. And so today he threw a curveball in the end of the first quarter, had Kuminga in with Moody. And I think the flow of the game just wasn't where it was supposed to be tonight with the Warriors. But, one thing I will say from watching the third quarter, this team is very talented. You have guys on the bench who are wearing out the starters on the other team, and they're coming back, making a furious comeback, like you said, Mully. This team of the Warriors these are games right here that those young guys are going to take and use later in the season as well.
If you look at those clips, obviously we've stated the 20 made threes, but to me, the Dallas Mavericks made a much better concerted effort to drive the paint and kick out for open three. They got some open threes that they missed in the other games, but tonight, much better ball movement, a little better rhythm. I thought guys for the Mavericks were shot ready. In turn, 30 assists on those 41 made field goals, which for the Dallas Mavericks is a very high number. That's saying that ball is moving around, not as much isolation basketball by Luka. So give credit to the Mavericks and Jason Kidd. They hung in there, stuck to their game plan, and made threes tonight.
Mavericks, one of the worst teams in the NBA when it comes to assists per game because of that ISO-dominant game. They play offensively with Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson, but things got off to a weird start. It was weird all night. Let's take a look at the start of the third quarter here. We had a 16-minute delay. Why? Because at the American Airlines Center, they had a leak in the roof. There's some crazy weather in Dallas today. It was hot, then it was raining, and you saw the water dripping right by the Warriors bench in the corner there. So we had a delay. Steph Curry, Luka having some fun right there, fraternizing. Mark Cuban looking disgusted, saying, how can this happen in my building during the playoffs?
Well, it wasn't just raining threes in the first half from Dallas. It was a downpour. Right. And Festus, where's your umbrella when we need it?
The umbrella's for this side only. It's not protecting
Really?
them. No, it's for us. The umbrella's for us. For the splash. That was not the splash I expected tonight. All right. Well, I told you guys about this, though, before the game started. I told you about this reverse psychology that they pull, where they come on, they say all these things in the media. You know, Jason Kidd was saying, well, we're looking to next year. They did the same thing against the Phoenix Suns in the last series, and they came out, you know, and when your back is against the wall, you have nowhere else to go but up. And in a game like this tonight, they made their threes, made their shots, and you got to go down swinging.
Well, let's flash it back to 94 and 95. Willie would know all about this down the Alamo
That's
Dome.
crazy.
Alamo Dome in San Antonio.
Let me tell you something. An umbrella's not going to work there.
Where's that coming from? That's not even the roof.
That's the water park down the street. That's
so they
crazy.
was losing this game, and they had to shut it down?
That's opening night in the Alamo Dome.
Yep.
Wow.
I was home with hand surgery. I was left. There goes my boy Tim.
Wow. Like
Newly Hall of Famer Tim Hardaway.
No doubt about that.
sir.
Did the Warriors win that game? I don't remember. They still that way?
If I had to take a guess, I'm going to say no. But I have no idea.
Dang, Willie. That was back in 94, 95. We got more weirdness happening in this game. Go ahead and roll the tape here because Draymond Green at the free throw line. I don't think I've ever seen this in my life. I know for a fact I've never seen this in my life. He shoots a free throw. It's rolling around the rim, and it just gets stuck. You guys played a lot of hoop, a lot more hoop than I have. D. Wright, you ever see something like this?
Never ever. You gotta have a lot of talent to do that right there.
That should be 4 points.
Right.
That's hard to do. That's almost impossible.
Now, they counted that as a miss.
What's the ruling on that?
So what if it falls back in?
I would say he should get his free throw back. It's like,
is there a time?
They would call it jump ball. Wedgies are jump balls, right? So you get a jump ball, maybe
That's
just
strange.
get Draymond a free throw back. I've never seen that before.
That's going to be on Shaqtin' a Fool.
For sure.
And of course, it happened to Draymond Green, right? And then he missed the second one, so he goes 0 for 2. So that basically was the game in a nutshell right there. Draymond having a free throw stuck on a rim. There's a lot of weirdness in this game. We're going to catch up with Grant Liffman a little bit here, but let's talk about the fourth quarter comeback. The fourth quarter comeback with the youngsters, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, Jordan Poole, Nemanja Bjelica may have earned some minutes here moving forward. He played well in that fourth quarter. You see him down 18 there. Jordan Poole getting in his bag. And look, give the Warriors credit. They made Jason Kidd have to stay with the starters in this game. I'm sure Jason Kidd would have loved to go to his bench, play guys like Marquise Chris. But you see the Warriors scored 39 points and they go on a 32-11 run. Moses Moody with a couple threes. Jonathan Kuminga with the 3. He finishes with 17 points and 8 rebounds. So this is very encouraging for the young guys to get some run in a conference final game and make the Dallas Mavericks sweat in that fourth quarter.
It definitely was, and the best thing about this Warriors team, all these guys have played in big games and played big minutes throughout this whole season. So this was just another game for those young fellas off the bench, and somebody we all know that Coach Kirk believes in. We saw that early on with J.K. and Moody in the game in the first half. So that just shows you how deep this team is, and whenever your name is called, you got to be ready to play.
The one bright spot for the game, 51 points, bench points for the Warriors to 33 for the Dallas Mavericks. And so this is something they can build on coming home. You always talk about the role players playing well when they come home. And so that's probably a confidence booster for the Warriors, right? Coming back in the game, still finding a way to get back into the swing of things. And so with the Warriors, I think that they're alert now, kind of like the last elimination series, so elimination game with Memphis. So I think they're awake now, and so now they're coming home to finish the job off.
Yeah, and from a coaching standpoint, I think it does two things. It gives those young fellas confidence. You never know, they may need them in a big moment moving forward here in the finals. And also, I think it wakes up the starters a little bit, right? They're a little lethargic. They get buried by 29. Steve Kerr goes to the bench. Not sure that they'd make that huge comeback, but give them some experience. In turn, they cut it to 6?
8. They cut it to 8.
Cut it to 8. So there was a good effort there. And what I really liked, you looked at those few clips, I thought they moved the ball well, attacked the paint, and played the right way, played together.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The Warriors will come back for game number 5, where they are 8-0 this postseason at Chase Center. But for some reaction right now, let's go down to Dallas, Texas. So one of the Talk Live members, he left Kareth Burke back in San Francisco, but he's down in Dallas doing some good work. Grant Liffman, what is happening? Welcome to Warriors Live. And what is the vibe down there in Dallas after the Warriors suffer their first loss in this Western Conference Final? Snapped a 9-game winning streak in the conference finals for the Golden State Warriors. They lose game 4. What is the vibe and reaction like so far down there in Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, I put on the suit jacket. I was ready for everything just in case. I know, Bonta, you always tell me to, and I actually just saw a drop of water just drop just a second ago from the ceiling here. I'm not even kidding you. That is not a joke. There literally is just leaked a little bit in front of us here. It has been a weird night here in Dallas. And, actually, to the Mavs fans' credit, it was loud. The energy was really high. But the Warriors came out with good energy. Then things started falling apart, and then halftime, the leak happened, and then the Draymond's ball gets stuck on the rim, and then after that, you start thinking, okay, this is not one of those happy loss. I know there's no such thing as like a good loss, but it's one of those you feel pretty bad afterwards. Well, once the Warriors started coming back and made that run, you could see the vibe completely change with the team. They're standing up a little bit more. They're cheering. They're not slouching over anymore. So while there's absolutely no such thing as a moral victory, especially right now in the season, you can tell that this team didn't feel so bad after the game as they could have, and you can see the confidence all back, and they had a little swag to them, guys.
Well, I wonder if the Warriors are going to get fined if they're standing up off the bench here. Maybe Mark Cuban's pointing, hey, rest. You see what's going on? Fine them. All right. Good work, Grant. You look good with the suit jacket. You should wear that more often, man. Come on, get out those T-shirts. Right, Bully? Come on, he looks dapper.
Maybe he'll interview the guy who fixed the leak. We're getting the other post-game interviews tonight. Thanks for nothing, Grant.
It's going to be a while. Warriors Live playoff edition coverage begins Thursday at 5 p.m. for game number 5 right here on NBC Sports Bay Area.